we are in Camden Market. Ain't been down there for a little bit. It's been a while. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take you down to Young Britannia today. Big up to Aoife, who's told me about this really cool brand. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to the owner, get some insight, get some information on the brand, maybe look at the brand, see where we're going with it. Might even grab a few pieces for myself. Alright, today, Kanye today. Kanye today. So check it out. See what's going on out here. See if we can get some cool pieces. Here we are. Yeah. I like the branding. I'm feeling the branding already. Here we are. Good morning everybody, it's Jermaine again and we are at another episode of You Are Legacey and we are inside Young Britannia at Camden Market and I'm here with the owner. I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Danielle Porteous. I'm founder and CEO of Young Britannia and we are currently at our store in Camden.
Right, so how long have you been here for?
We've only been here 4 weeks actually. It came at the end of August. It's only supposed to be a pop-up but I think Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Alright, what's the moving traffic like now?
We're at the quieter corner of the market, so north side, but generally speaking it's been really great for us. We've created a really great buzz, so it's a bit silly to cut it short. Just play out for a little while longer.
Okay. So how did Young Britannia come around? Like what was, from birth to where you are now?
The original idea in 2010, it was originally a film going to be for the London 2012 Olympics, and it was going to be called Young Britannia, 5 young Brits with for gold at the London 2012 Olympics. But I wrote a first draft, it never really went anywhere, just sort of left it, and then it got to 2012, just like a couple of months before the Olympics, and my mum said, oh, you put it on some t-shirts, and I was like, no. And then I kind of went away and thought about it, and then sort of created an entire concept behind the brand, all British culture, positive messages to young Britons, that kind of thing, and that's it. I had one t-shirt, 2 colours, and it just kind of went from there.
Grew from there.
Yeah.
Alright. I've had a quick look around and stuff, and I do like it really. I like the windbreaker was something that I kind of got caught the fact before it went. Early bird in it. So I know setting up the shop is not easy. So what's one of probably the hardest things you found getting the store and setting up?
Do you know what? In all fairness, it wasn't as hard as I would have thought. It just was a lot of work, and the turnaround was really quick because it was approaching a bank holiday weekend and I wanted everything up and running before then. I wanted to do an opening event before then. So really, from the time that we got the keys to here, we turned around the shop in 2 days. But it was like, the whole team pulling all-nighters,
everyone in,
all of that kind of stuff, and then, bringing all of every kind of piece of stock that we've always had, just bringing it in here. So in comparison to a lot of other things, it was smooth sailing. It was a lot of work, but it was smooth sailing.
Okay, so I'll go to straight to the fashion question because everybody asks it.
Yeah.
How did you come about looking for manufacturers, pricing and stuff like that? How long do you think it took you to find one?
In all fairness, I think I change them quite often as well, even now. Going from just being a t-shirt brand into expanding from then, it takes time. I think I finally have a trusted supplier now for most of my stuff. So I don't really think I will be changing, but you always have to keep them on their toes. You always need to have more than one at one time, because if someone lets you down, which we've had it before,
try and hike the
prices, quality not great, taking forever. You just have to make sure you've got enough time, a contingency plan, don't give them all your money up front, all of that kind of thing. But I think we're pretty good now in terms of we've got a network of people that have tried and tested, but it does take time. You're going to get burned, but you just have to be careful and a bit relentless with it.
Okay. I'm going to ask you something. A lot of, I think, starters out in fashion that ask me, and it would be to do with financing. As starting out, obviously, you've got very little investment, if any investment.
Yeah.
How did you go about sourcing financing, and when did you think I need a finance now?
So in all fairness, when it first started, I just had a 0% credit card and I just went for it.
Yeah.
I didn't think too much about it. I built a company in a week and I had a t-shirt out within a month. I was quite impulsive like that, and the problem is when you're a bit impulsive, you can spend money recklessly. So after our first t-shirt sold out, I was like, oh, okay, let me do it in 6 different colours.
I've got this.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're like, oh, okay, that didn't quite work out. And it's always the kind of way with business, it's kind of up and down. It got to a stage where everything was fine, but online wasn't doing as well, so you kind of find that you're a bit stagnant. You're not really progressing, you're not really doing as much as you would really like. So we needed a boost. In all fairness, I didn't really actively look for it. I was quite lucky that it was someone who was close to me who had been sort of watching for a while, and then put me in touch with somebody else who was interested in this kind of investing in this kind of market. And then I got 2 investors within sort of 6 months after that. And obviously the money trickles down, and that's has helped us sort of launch our Back-It range, get the shop, all of that kind of thing. It's got us to the stage where we're at now. I think for now we're fine. We're not looking too much into the near future. Obviously, I think when it comes to growth again, we have to revisit again. Whether or not the same people will be interested, whatever, we won't know. But we'll wait and see. But I was quite lucky in terms of mine. But for other people, you just have to really go out there and network and knock on a lot of doors and show your track record, because no one's going to give you anything for nothing. You have to really show that you've been doing it. Yeah, that you've been doing it. And even if for me, I worked 6 days a week at the time, so they could see the work rate and they could see what had been built by still working 6 days a week. And they were like, well, what can you do if you're not working as well, if you're being paid to be here?
That's what all the time. I feel like, where do you see yourself in about 35 years time?
35?
35?
35 years time. Well, at the moment, obviously, it's quite singular in terms of the business model. It's, selling to our core customers in the shop, online, that kind of thing. But obviously, I think in the next 6 months, the aim is to be distributing to multiple retailers and to really, how do I put this now? To become more of an international brand. So looking to distribute to other countries, i.e. Asia, who love this kind of concept.
Oh, love it. Yeah.
We've kind of already had interest in that kind of thing. It's just finding the right format for us to do that. And also to really focus on the why, the reason why we do this, and it is to promote the positivity for young Britons. And I started this at the hype of the 2012 Olympics, where everyone was just so like
Team GB.
Yeah, and the buzz and the love drunkenness of that kind of thing that happened there. I want to kind of create that all the time, and also to show that regardless of whoever you are, you can do whatever you want to do. It takes time.
That London mentality, that Indian mentality, I should say.
Yeah. Like you're fully capable of doing whatever you want. You just gotta go out there and do it.
So where do you think you get your, let's say, entrepreneurism from? Where do you think you picked it up from?
I don't know really, but my mum and my family are very hard workers in general. My dad was a businessman, so it's kind of like something that's been instilled in me since I was very young. But I feel like I'm kind of on steroids, kind of like ambitious.
I've amped it up.
Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like I've got a lot of tunnel vision in terms of where I want to go, what I want to do, and it's not a thing for me to work 20-hour days, and it doesn't really bother me. My boyfriend might say otherwise, but
Put the phone down. That's what I get a lot. You want your phone again? I'm just checking something.
It's like, I just wish I have a laptop. No, just leave for a second.
Turn it off.
But I think I will always work, regardless of whether or not it becomes super successful and all that kind of stuff. I just still feel like, I want to be out there doing more things, being a creative, helping people, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be something I want to do always.
Definitely. What would be some advice you would give to somebody starting out in the fashion world?
My key advice would be, don't try and put all of your money into something up front. Create a buzz from minimal effort first. So get a sample, build a social media presence, network, that kind of thing. Don't give yourself too much work straight away without really seeing if people even want it. I was lucky, my first t-shirt sold out, but if you were to put a load of money into a t-shirt that nobody likes and nobody wants to buy, you're kind of going to hinder yourself quite massively. So that would be my first bit of advice, and just be accustomed to not sleeping.
I already know that one.
Can be a lot of sleepless nights.
Alright. I'll go more for design. Who comes up with the designs? Is it yourself and the team, or is it an outsourcing?
No. So it's all internal, but My first t-shirt was a sketch idea that me and my friend had, and then I went and found a graphic designer, and he's been with me ever since. He's now my creative director. And basically what I will do is I'll say, I like this picture, I like this pattern, can you put it together? And you know, he'll run with it and create like 5 or 6 different ones, and then I'll say that one.
Yeah,
and then we roll like that. So he's the artist in my mind. He's kind of like whatever I'm dreaming about, he manages to turn it into reality.
Oh, I see. Teamwork makes the dream work. All those ones there. I'm kind of more talking about when you come into fashion, and obviously because this is aimed at all the school leavers and people that are getting into the business, obviously we'll always ask stuff about the designs and obviously how you progress with financing. But as an owner, a young owner, how do you think the business sector of London see you and approach you? Do you feel like they're embracing you in a way, or do you feel like you're still kind of crafting your own little lane?
I think it's a combination of two extremes. Some people think that you're doing excellently already. They just think, oh my god, you know, I've seen everything, it's just like doing amazing, blah blah. They kind of suck up to you a little bit. Others kind of feel like you're not on their level, so they don't really pay you too much mind. So I feel that it's both extremes. Also, as a woman, sometimes you can get certain different kind of perceptions, like, oh, really? Why? Why? What's the point? And it's like, it shouldn't really have any relevance, it shouldn't have any difference really. But I think it's never one set thing. Different people are always different. So
that kind of brings us nicely into the next question of like, why? Like, why did you choose to like do
clothes?
Yeah,
I can ask that one. Yeah. So he introduces the question, then cuts out, and I can just ask it. So yeah, obviously bring into that question. Yeah, what made you want to get into the clothes? Why clothes?
I think it was complete fluke. You know, after the whole building of the brand Young Britannia and having one t-shirt, it's sort of like, I think this might work. And even though I was never one to be into fashion too much, I couldn't dress until I was like 20 years old. I looked terrible. It was almost like, why would I ever think about that? And it's also such a competitive market and industry. I feel like it just kind of happened organically. I couldn't really even tell you that there was one particular thing that pushed me. It was just one of those things that just happened, and now all of a sudden, it's
a great narrative. I think because just in Britain we are very fashion savvy. Fashion always speaks well for us.
Yeah.
So you pick up and you leave your house, wear a certain thing, and then that's how you feel about yourself throughout the day. So yeah, I think it's a great narrative, and I do like the way it's presented. It is really British.
Yeah.
As in, it's subtle. It does have your statement pieces, but even with what you selected with the windbreakers and the jumpers and the extra long dresses for the girls, that is very British to me. And you can always see the American coming over here to nick that. You can see it, but it is very, and it does. I think the brand does come through very well. So I have to commend you on that.
Thank you.
You're doing well. And but anyway, he gets his thing. Go on.
Folding nicely into that. Even though it's a British brand and it's like very pride of Britain, it's sort of like synonymous with an American mentality of, you know, what do you call it?
Patriotism.
The patriotism. You know, they always this is America, man. Anything can happen in America. So that's good.
Yeah.
But even though it's a British brand, I would say like, who is your target market? Who is it for specifically? So I know it does kind of, it's about Britain, but who do you see buying it and who do you target?
Yeah. So we get that as the last question, and then we'll do a little outro bit. So yeah, as you were saying, because it's very British, and I think the feel of it, even with the detailing you've got on the arms and a lot of the stuff, that is very us. But again, even with the windbreakers, I feel like it does reach out abroad. But what was your target market when you started, and is it still the same?
My target market when I started was 16 to 25 year olds in Britain. You know, it was like creating a movement, all that kind of thing. However, now it's not that at all. When the brand started to grow, it was like, I don't want to exclude anybody. I don't want to exclude anyone who's not young, anyone who's not British. Trying to make it as universal as possible, and understanding that literally you can get people coming in here of all ages. When we did the clothes show last year, we had 50, 60-year-olds come in and still buying t-shirts and all of that kind of stuff. And I find that it's really heartwarming, because I think that they understand that there is a lot of patriotism behind what we're trying to do, but also, you know, kids from Asia come over here and they love the stuff as well. So I feel like it is really, really universal. Although my aim was to make being patriotic cool over here. You get those like touristy shops everywhere that sell the stuff, and I just, it's just tacky. It's just not nice.
It's a bit cheap.
I wanted to try and take that essence, but actually create things that people want to wear.
Cool stuff. It looks cool. It looks fashionable.
Yeah.
Basically, in long term. Alright, but thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I like stuff. I'm gonna be looking around and grabbing some bits and bobs. But before we wrap up, I'm going to let him jump in. Cameraman, stop it. I'm going to say before we say, just tell us about, have you got any events coming up, what to look forward to the future, any new ranges?
So we've got a freshers event here on Sunday, the 18th of September. It's still an open event, so if you want to come down to that, you're more than welcome. And then we also have our first collaboration with Jomo's Gallery on the 1st of October in store. Where an artist is like creating this whole streetwear vibe, but he's actually an artist, so it's quite interesting. And we obviously want to use this space as a hub for British creativity. So there might be a couple more events coming up, especially in the back end of 2016. We're also at the Close Show in Birmingham in December, and we have literally just about to launch a reversible black camo bomber jacket.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. I saw the kids thing keeping up, so I'm going to look at something for my little one.
Yeah.
Got some stuff. But thank you for having me. Great stuff.
So much.
Love it. Thank you again.
Thanks.
I'll be down there again when I grab some stuff. And I'm duck. Anyway, you are Legacey. Locked on.